Okay, imagine this. You're settling in, maybe playing some online blackjack or roulette. You see the whole setup right, that perfect studio lighting, the super sharp HD stream, and there's the dealer looking right at the camera. Maybe they even give you a shout out, use your username. It feels incredibly real, doesn't it? Almost like you're sitting right there at the table, minus the travel time. But here's the big question, the one we're really going to dig into today. Are those live dealers, the ones you see in the online casinos, actually live? Because, when we started looking into the materials you sent over, the answer turned out to be, well, a bit more complex, maybe even surprising. So our mission for this deep dive is pretty clear. Pull back that curtain, look into this corner of the online world and unpack what's really going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, and it's a great question because, look, the first impression, and honestly the reality for most reputable online casinos, is yes, mostly they are real people screaming in real time. And crucially, they're doing this from these purpose-built studios. These aren't just spare rooms with a webcam. No, these are high-tech broadcast centers. Think minimal lag, maximum uptime, because they're dealing with potentially millions of players globally, right? You often find these hubs in places like, say, Malta, Latvia, maybe the Philippines, sometimes Canada too. And these dealers, they're not just random folks. They work proper shifts. They get trained pretty rigorously, actually, much like dealers in a physical brick-and-mortar casino. Plus, they're watched closely, for fairness, for compliance, all that stuff. It really backs up that real feeling, making sure the game's legit.
Okay, so that's the straightforward picture. A real person, real studio, real time. Seems simple enough. But here's where it gets really interesting, right? Because the stuff we looked at definitely hinted that sometimes. It's not quite that simple. What did we find out about those live games that, well, aren't actually live?
Right, this is the tricky part. Because while many are genuinely live, some things labeled live dealer or looking live aren't. Not in real time with a human, anyway. We're talking about things like cleverly edited video loops, sometimes even AI-generated avatars.
Yeah.
They're playing out sequences that might look live, but they're actually pre-recorded or fully simulated.
Ah, okay. So you might see games called like auto roulette or maybe first-person casino, those kinds of things. And what's kind of unsettling, I guess, is how good this tech is getting. These AI models, they can mimic human gestures, smiles, all that stuff, really convincingly. You'd need a sharp eye to spot the difference sometimes. And the results themselves. They might use real physics captured on video, maybe, or just an RNG.
Exactly, a random number generator. So the outcome, whether the ball lands on red or you get dealt an ace, it's decided by an algorithm, a computer program, not by an actual physical wheel spin or card shuffle happening right then, even if the visuals make it look that way.
Okay, so that's one layer. But then there's this other thing, the hybrid model. How does that fit in?
Ah, yes, the hybrid approach. This adds another layer of complexity, or maybe efficiency, depending on how you look at it. So in these games, the dealer, absolutely real, a living, breathing person dealing the game. But maybe the cards they're dealing aren't physical cards. They could be digital overlays projected onto the screen.
Oh, interesting.
Or the roulette wheel might be real, but the winning number is displayed using computer graphics, maybe augmented somehow. And this blend, this mix of real and digital, it lets the providers do some amazing things. They cut costs, obviously. They can scale up much easier. And get this, it can allow like one single dealer to interact with players in potentially dozens of different languages simultaneously.
Wait, how does that work?
Through smart overlay tech. The dealer speaks English, let's say. But you, if you're playing in Japan, you might hear them in Japanese. Someone in Brazil hears Portuguese. All synced up, all looking seamless. It's a massive tech lead. It changes the economics completely, right? No need for 50 dealers for 50 languages.
Wow, that's pretty incredible how technology just blurs those lines. It really makes you pause and think, doesn't it? Like, as a player, maybe you're caught up in the game, the excitement. Are you even noticing these subtleties, or is the illusion just, that good?
Exactly. And this brings us back to the core issue, really. Why does any of this matter? Well, the whole appeal, the fundamental reason people like live casinos online, it's built on trust.
Yeah, the feeling that what you see is what's happening right now. Authenticity.
Precisely. But when the tech gets this sophisticated, that line between what's real and what's just a very convincing illusion, it can get awfully thin.
Yeah.
Very blurry.
So let's recap what we've unpacked in this deep dive today. We've seen the whole spectrum, really. You've got the genuinely live human dealers working in those dedicated high-tech studios. That's one end. Then you've got the other end, the cleverly edited stuff, the AI-driven games that look live but absolutely aren't. And sitting somewhere in the middle are those fascinating hybrid models where real people work alongside some pretty advanced tech augmentation. The key takeaway for you listening is that live can mean different things. And now you understand those nuances. That's empowering.
Absolutely. And understanding this is crucial because of that trust factor we mentioned. It's everything. The good news is reputable providers, the big names they will generally tell you. They'll state if a game is fully live or semi-live or if it's simulated, but it's really up to you as the player to, look for that. Check the game rules, the info section, the fine print. Don't just assume.
Right, and knowing who is providing the game is just as vital as knowing what kind of game it is. The sources we looked through mentioned some key names, didn't they? Like Evolution, Playtech, Pragmatic Play Live.
Yeah, those are some of the major players.
And these companies, they have huge reputations on the line. That usually means they have a strong incentive to be transparent and deliver what they promise. It's a good indicator, usually. So the next time you find yourself at an online live table and you see that dealer smile, and you're maybe wondering, are they really dealing these cards to me right this second? Well, now you know what kinds of things to look for, what questions to ask yourself about what might be happening behind that screen.
And it does make you think, doesn't it? Stepping back a bit. In this increasingly digital world we live in, how often are we truly questioning what's real and what's simulated behind the curtain? Not just in casinos, but, in all our online interactions.
That is a great thought to leave everyone with. Really makes you consider things more broadly. Go forth, use this knowledge, and as always, stay curious. Until next time on our deep dive.